Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be back here with SDG Part 3. This is Dr. Gayatri Harikumar. We're going to talk about Sustainable Development Goals Part 3. The first a few 10 goals we have seen in Part 1 and 2 of this YouTube channel. First goal, no poverty. Second, zero hunger. Third, good health and well-being. Fourth, quality education. Five, gender equality. Six, clean water and sanitation. Seven, affordable and clean energy. Eight, decent work and economic growth. Nine, industry innovation and infrastructure. 10, reduced inequalities. Today, we're moving on to SDG Goal 11, sustainable cities and communities. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Cities are engines for sustainable development. It is where ideas, commerce, culture, science, and productivity thrives. Urban spaces offer opportunities for people to prosper economically and socially. We are seeing that in the pre-COVID season, people were thronging the cities, but due to this COVID, people have migrated to their hometowns, villages, and rural areas. But I'm sure they will be back to the cities after this COVID subsides, because this is the place where they get their employment. This is where they can contribute to the society and also ensure that they earn well and contribute to the national economic development. Statistics: by 2030, India will have 7 mega cities with population of over 10 million. So it's a huge thing. Cities will be becoming very big and massive. So we should ensure that we are planning the cities properly so that it can accommodate all the human population migrating to the cities. Global level, 50% of the population worldwide lives in cities. Target for 2030: by 2030, ensure access for all to safe and affordable housing, provide access to safe and sustainable transport systems with special attention given to women and children, persons with disabilities, and older persons. So, because when you have a transportation system which gives privileges and priorities for all these people, women, children, older people, and people with disabilities, then they can travel safely and the cities will be considered to be safe for human settlement. How do we do that? We must ensure that cities and communities are inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Everyone must have access to quality, safe housing and basic services. Here we're seeing a family enjoying happily. They're able to cook, they're able to study, they're able to sleep happily in the city. Then we also see that with monitoring of waste management and air quality, the city has improved life. Then we must engage everyone in planning for improvement of the cities, which means the government should open people and ensure that they get ideas for improving the infrastructure of the cities. Then we move on to the next one. We will promote appreciation and protection of the environment and culture. So you're seeing a park where everybody are happily getting together and relaxing. So that means the environment is maintained well in the city. We must provide safe, organized transportation that is not harmful to the environment. We are seeing a solar battery operated vehicle which moves people in the public transport system. Then we must make cities resilient to disaster and adaptable to climate change, which means we are building strong bridges and infrastructure facilities so that these cities are safe when they are attacked by tsunami, earthquake, floods, and other natural disasters. SDG Goal 12, responsible consumption and production. Ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Sustainable consumption and production aims at doing more and better with less. That's very important. You're using the resources wisely and ensuring that you're able to produce effective results more. Sustainable development will be achieved not only by growing our economies, but by minimizing the waste in the process of doing so. That means we should ensure that we are using less resources and achieving more results and productivity. Statistics: India says that while the country is home to 18% of the world's population, it has only 4% of global water resources, which is very negligible. The generation of waste and pollutants also poses a challenge. We don't have effective pollution or waste treatment plants and facilities. Only 19.9% of India's urban waste is processed, which means we see that around 80% of the waste is disposed and dumped just like that in all the places, and it is definitely a strain for the planet. Global level, our planet is under massive strain. If the global population grows up to 9.6 billion by 2050, we will need 3 Earths to sustain current lifestyle for everyone. Which means that when there is so much of population explosion, then we will not be able to survive in this Earth. We need more planets like Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, etc. Where do we go? So we should ensure that the population doesn't explode and we're able to have a proper, safe, sustainable life in this planet, Mother Earth. Target for 2030 to achieve sustainable management and efficient use of natural resources. Global food waste at the retail and consumer level stands at 50%. We have to reduce that waste along production and supply chains, including post-harvest losses, which means when we generate more food waste, more people are poor and they are not able to get food. So poverty is also increasing, and also you're going to dump the waste food in a place which is going to consume a certain space and also pollute the environment. So we should ensure that we are having a watch on all these food waste and do not dump it. So what consumers, we as consumers, we can ensure that we consume food, cook and eat whatever is required. Hotels and restaurants can dispose their foods to NGOs and all other places on a day-to-day basis so that they don't dump their waste in a land area. Responsible consumption and production. We must make sure the production process from manufacturer to consumer does not harm the nature, nor does it harm the humanity. It should generate as little waste as possible. Companies must be open and responsible about their choices. Here you are seeing companies protecting their water, having proper industrial waste treatment plans, air and soil is tested. We must prevent food waste. We must sign international agreements so that harmful chemicals do not create harm to the environment. Here you're seeing a sale where second-hand goods are not dumped as waste. Somebody is able to use it. You can give it for sale or you can give it as a free one to anybody who may be in need of it, so that the waste are not dumped. One person's waste might be another person's requirement. You are seeing here the people are informed and educated here so that they don't waste the food. They are not polluting the environment. SDG Goal 13, climate action. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Climate change aggravates the disasters, and we should combat that to ensure survival on the well-being of future generations. Because when you don't take care of your environment, then all your you will see the sea levels rising, oceans becoming polluted, glaciers melting, forests getting trees and all the deforestation happening. All these are signs of bad environmental management, and this climate change can increase the temperatures for the people in the world. Sorry, this might harm the people living in the world. So climate change is disrupting national economies. People are experiencing changing weather patterns, rising sea levels and extreme weather events. So you find that when you have the rainy season, you don't experience rain, or when you have the summer, you don't have the real heat, but you may have the extreme summer and winter in different seasons than was predicted than that had been predicted earlier. Statistics: India is the third largest emitter of carbon dioxide and is responsible for 6.9% of global emissions. Global level, global emissions of carbon dioxide have increased by 50% since 1990, with emissions increasing more quickly. This is not very appreciable because carbon dioxide, if we breathe that, we may be getting a lot of health problems. And that is the reason we are seeing a lot of diseases cropping up in the world. The new diseases that we haven't never heard before few decades, say 2 or 3 decades, we come to hear all the new names of diseases and new treatments. This is because of the pollution happening in the environment. By 2030, strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity to climate related hazards and natural disasters in all countries. So we are going to combat or fight against this climate change. Integrate climate change measures into national policies, strategies, and planning. So we are having a national council which plans for all these climate change and takes actions in India. On the global level also, we are having member countries signing many agreements so that they do their bit not to harm the environment. The climate is changing. Yes, the climate is always changing naturally, but in the last 200 years, human behavior has had an added influence. That is, we are doing something harmful to the environment. What are we doing? Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is increasing. Global warming is happening. So the ozone layer is thinning. That is, the protection that is given for us is becoming thin. So we are exposed to more of harmful radiations of chemicals and other particles from the atmosphere, and that is going to create a lot of health hazards for each and every human being. So what do we do? Even with all these measures taken, it will take decades to reverse global warming. Global warming, the temperatures of the world are rising. Say, for example, if you're say 40, 50 years, if you had been having in summer 40 degrees, you will see that gradually it has become 42 degrees in summer now. It may increase to 44 degrees in future, then 46 degrees like deserts, and we may face a temperature very hot like deserts in cities, and we cannot actually bear that kind of a climate change. So we should do our bit to protect the climate environmental hazards now itself, so that we are well prepared for the future. We must be prepared to manage extreme weather conditions and natural disasters. What do we do? Build resilience. What do we do? Educate people, make plans. National policies and bodies will do their planning a bit to combat climate change, improve water management to deal with droughts so that plants are not they are not dried up. All nations must work together to help mitigate and adapt to climate change and its impacts for the benefit of all the people worldwide. SDG Goal 14, life below water. So we are going to see what is happening to the creatures in the oceans and seas. Conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Oceans absorb 40% of the carbon dioxide and reduce the impact of global warming. So very important because they are helping in stopping the pollution, they are absorbing the carbon dioxide. So it is our duty to preserve the oceans and water bodies. They also serve as the world's largest source of protein. So the seafood that you get is the source of protein. The world's oceans, their temperature, chemistry, currents, and life drive global systems that make the earth habitable for humankind. That means we're able to live in this. People are exploring whether they can live in Mars. It was found that it has certain qualities that made it habitable. But without any doubt, we all know that Earth is habitable place. We all live here happily, and we should do our bit to preserve the environment and conserve the oceans. Our rainwater, drinking water, weather, climate, coastlines, much of our food, and even the oxygen in the air we breathe are all ultimately provided and regulated by the sea. So whatever we see, the water we drink, the food many eat as proteins, fishes and other fish products, the coastlines that are protected, or the oxygen generated for us to breathe in this life are all because of the sea. So we should protect it. India, the Indian government Sagarmala project is known as the Blue Revolution. It works to improve the state of India's ports and coastlines. It is sad that India is ranked 12 out of 20 countries responsible for marine pollution. So we are polluting and we are standing in this 12th place. We shouldn't do that. So we should ensure that we are safeguarding our marine resources and not polluting that water body. Coastline and marine resources contribute US dollars 3 to 6 trillion to the global economy every year. So marine resources are rich. They also help us to gain some economic development. So we should protect those resources. Target for 2030, increase scientific knowledge, develop research capacity, and transfer marine technology. So we are ensuring that we're doing research and seeing how we can safeguard the marine life and marine water resources. Enhance the contribution of marine diversity to the development of developing countries, in particular small island developing states and least developed countries. So we are moving our concentration to developing countries, small islands and underdeveloped countries, so that their water bodies, coastlines, their marine resources are well protected and the world improves its marine resources richly. Life below water, most of the planet's surface is water. Here's what we must do to protect the oceans. Reduce and prevent pollution. Don't dump the. See, if you go to the beach, you will see that the government has banned plastic, but you see a lot of plastic waste. So you should ensure that you're not polluting the beaches and the water bodies there. That's what we can do. Our bit. Protect the ecosystems, that is the fishes and all the water bodies and algae that are found under the water. End overfishing and illegal fishing, because the government sometimes puts a ban on fishing on certain days because they want the fishes and other water creatures to breed. So that time we should abide by the law and ensure that we don't do illegal fishing. Help fishing communities to develop sustainable fishing practices, use trendy technologies to ensure that we are not harming the water bodies or water creatures that live inside the oceans and seas. Scientific cooperation to increase knowledge, to improve technologies, to minimize ocean acidification. So we are going to exchange some useful information from country to country or from researcher to another researcher, so that everybody are getting mutually benefited out of the knowledge that has been acquired in one place. Make and maintain international laws and agreements so that one country respects the oceans and seas and another and other marine resources of another country. SDG Goal 15, Life on Land. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. So here we're all living on land. Our future is linked to the survival of land ecosystems. Yes, definitely. Forests cover 30% of the Earth's surface and they are the foundation for sustainable development, because without trees, you will not get good breeze, you will not get rains, you will not be able to practice agriculture, you will not have food, then the human race will suffer. So it's a cycle. So the forests are a part of the land area. So we should conserve the forest and environment. Deforestation, that is cutting trees. Desertification, that is ruthlessly cutting trees, caused by human activities and climate change, pose major challenges to sustainable development and have affected the lives and livelihoods of millions of people in the fight against poverty. So why poverty is having a connection here? Because people uh, when they cut the trees and forests, when they cut the trees, then the forests become empty. So people are losing their livelihood. Then if they don't practice agriculture, they will not get good yield. Then if they don't produce food, the farmers go empty-handed, and millions of people do not get food, and that's how poverty drops in. In India, 44% of the population is employed in agriculture. Yes, India is a country where the primary occupation of the people is agriculture. So we should protect the land resources and forest resources so that people are able to uh, practice sustainable agricultural practices and produce more crop outputs. Global level, 2.6 billion people also depend on agriculture. By 2030, combat desertification, that is fight desertification, that we are not turning the green pastures into deserts. We shouldn't do that, because deserts, it's just empty sand. You don't see anything there, no water, no crops can grow. So that is really bad. So we should fight against desertification, restore degraded land and soil, so that that is, you are making the soil rich by practicing good cultivation practices, conservation of mountain ecosystems for achieving a land degradation neutral world. That is, you are protecting the land, soil, mountains, and ensuring that you are not having turning the land into deserts in 2030. As part of the global ecosystem ourselves, we need to conserve and protect plant and animal life on land, of course. Reduce deforestation and plant more trees. Even if some industry or some building has to come in that area and cutting trees, we should ensure that we are planting double the number of saplings in other place and nourishing the forest life, or ensuring that the trees are cut in one place are replaced by growing some plants and trees in another place. Protect and preserve ecosystems. Yes, we are ensuring that all the, because you see the food chain and all that you would have studied, only when the food chain is maintained, the life on land can survive. So you are seeing all the small creatures are also given equal importance in this land, and they are allowed to survive. Combat desertification, ensuring that you're not cutting too much of trees. Reverse land degradation, that is, you're converting the food waste into biodegradable things and converting them into manures and feeding it for the plants. End threats to endangered species, it's our duty, because once they are extinct, we will never see them. We can only tell them as stories to our future generation. We should protect those species and protect biodiversity. Thank you. SDG 4 part will be continued in the next one. Thanks for the watch.